On Mountain News this morning, a rate increase is coming for Kentucky Power customers. And Kentucky lawmakers could be asked to approve a bill allowing for cannabis drinks in the state.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Welcome to Mountain News this morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Monday, March 2nd. The time is now 5:31, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I went home to Tennessee this weekend and I went to my little nephew's birthday party, and it was just beautiful weather outside. It was so much fun. We went in the park and enjoyed the sunshine. It was a lot of fun.
That's so sweet. I'm glad I could give you good weather for this past weekend, and I'm glad that he had a good birthday as well. But speaking of good weather, unfortunately, it's not a great start to your morning. We are talking chillier temperatures, especially for those folks living in our northern counties in a mixture of the 30s. The farther south you travel and the closer you get to Tennessee, the more likely you are to see some mid to upper 40s in the forecast this morning. We head into the afternoon though, and those temperatures will be warming and improving into a mixture of the 40s and 50s. Again, seeing cooler temperatures for our northern counties, warmer temperatures for those folks in the southern counties. And we're also dealing with some rain this morning, and yes, seeing some slight chances of a wintry mix for those far northern counties as well. But don't worry, a warm front is on the way today. Temperatures will be improving all day long. In fact, we're going to see high temperatures as we head into that 4 o'clock hour, yes, but it's going to continue and to improve overnight. Neely.
Thank you, Megan. A Perry County Central High School student was killed in an ATV crash Saturday night. It happened around 9 p.m. on Oakwood Avenue in Vico. The sheriff's office says 2 underage girls and 2 adult men were on the ATV when it crashed. According to deputies, a 16-year-old girl was driving at the time of the crash. She's been charged with driving under the influence. Since she is a minor, her name has not been released. The other teen died at the scene. Her family has identified her to us as 16-year-old Emmeline Clark. One of the adults was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Kentucky State Police are investigating a deadly motorcycle crash in Wayne County. The crash was Saturday afternoon on Highway 90 near Hall Road. Investigators say 26-year-old Christian Vanover of Monticello was driving on his motorcycle when he struck the back of a minivan. Vanover was thrown from the motorcycle and went down an embankment. Emergency crews first took him to Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, later transferred Vanover to the University of Kentucky Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police say Vanover was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. The driver and passenger in the minivan were not hurt. Saturday marked the 68th anniversary of the school bus crash that forever changed the Prestonsburg community. WYMT's Buddy Forbes looks back at the loss.
68 years since that bus went in the river, but to me it's not been 68 years.
Jackie Branham Hall remembers the bus crash in Floyd County as if it were yesterday, a tragedy that claimed the lives of 26 students and their bus driver on February 28, 1958.
When that bus went under and those children was fighting for life, fighting for breath, I'll tell you what I used to pray. I used to pray that the Lord was there and he took them gently so they didn't suffer.
Though Hall was not on Bus 27, she remembers the emptiness that came in the days after, with several classmates washed away and others forever changed. She recalls turning to school a few weeks later.
5 of the kids was in my room. One drowned, John Harlan Hughes Jr. And when I saw his seat gone, my heart went down to my toes, because I didn't think they should take this seat out. I thought they should leave it there and put his name on that seat in remembrance of him.
That feeling of wanting to honor the victims never left. So Hall started writing about them and collecting articles and information about the tragedy to keep their story together.
And these children deserve to be noted, to be recognized and talked about. I don't know, I kind of feel like when you're talking about the dead, they live again for a few minutes.
Decades later, several memorials were erected throughout the city of Prestonsburg, each sharing the story of that fateful day.
They went through hell, because you never forget something like that. I never.
But a living memorial stands through the Floyd County Rescue Squad. The origin of the squad was born on the banks of the river as search crews fought the frigid waters.
That's what got the ball rolling on the rescue squad, as it started in 1958. And because of the bus accident.
That squad has been led by dedicated volunteers for decades, working to make sure the county is prepared for the next disaster.
Always right there. Every time I've called them, I know at least they've always been there for me. Missing person rescues, searches, flood searches, whatever it is, they're always right there, top of the game. So, top-notch folk.
To create hope through the horror while honoring the lives lost to the Leviza. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Hall says she hopes folks took time to remember the students and driver who died that day, as well as the 22 survivors and the countless lives that were changed forever. A rate increase is coming for Kentucky Power customers. Under the new order, the average residential customer will see an average monthly bill increase of just under $11 for the first year. The PSC says there will be a slight rate increase after the first year because of a provision allowing Kentucky Power to use certain deferred tax liabilities to reduce rates. The order also requires an independent audit of Kentucky Power to review operations and decision-making processes. During a special called London City Council meeting Friday, the council accepted the resignation of council member Anthony Ortega and unanimously agreed to appoint John Bruner to succeed him. Ortega called his time on the council, quote, a genuinely rewarding experience. Ortega is the fourth London Council member to resign in the past 2 years. Sunday marked the first kicked off Severe Weather Awareness Week in Kentucky. After eastern Kentucky has experienced weather of all types, from historic flooding to deadly tornadoes, folks are advocating for weather awareness. Though you can't prevent severe weather from happening, you can control how you prepare for it. And meteorologists with the National Weather Service are providing information all week long on how to prepare and be aware, with specific themes for each day.
All of this information is coming out at the same time, so we want to get the message out, especially as we come into the severe weather season with March.
Kentucky has a statewide tornado drill scheduled for Wednesday the 4th at 10:07 a.m. Vorse says eastern Kentucky is not immune to tornadoes. We've seen that with the West Liberty tornado event in 2012 and the tornado last May that ripped through Somerset and London. New tools are coming to Instagram to help parents keep a closer eye on their teens' mental health. The goal is to give families a heads up before a crisis develops. Ariana Mintz spoke with the counselor about why these digital safeguards are becoming necessary.
Changes are on the way that aim to help parents monitor their child's social media usage. Meta says on their website they're getting ready for a new alert system for Instagram. Instagram will start notifying parents if their teen repeatedly tries to search for terms related to suicide or self-harm within a short period of time. Bradley Jordan is the lead counselor for Wayne County Schools. He says there's a large percentage of students that use social media, likely starting in middle school.
The mature content that students see or that they can see on social media tends to lead to things that they're not ready to see or to hear or to deal with.
Meta says the alerts are part of Instagram's parental supervision features that come along with teen accounts. They go on to say on their website, the vast majority of teens do not try to search for suicide and self-harm content on Instagram. And when they do, our policy is to block these searches, instead directing them to resources and helplines that can offer support. Jordan encouraging parents to talk with their child if they get this notification.
If it comes back and they deny those feelings, but yet you're seeing other risk factors and other warning signs, then that's when you are really important to seek out further help.
He says there's support out there if you realize you need help.
If it's an awkward situation with a parent or a family, and I completely understand that those are difficult questions and difficult conversations to have with your child, please reach out to your school counselors, your social workers, reach out to your child's school, because we're trained in having those conversations And sadly, we have those conversations often enough to where that we know what questions to ask, we know what supports to offer, and what resources to connect the family and the child to get them some help.
Ariana Mintz, WSAZ, Wayne County.
If you or someone you know is struggling, you can always call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at any time of the day. FBI Director Kash Patel spent the day in Eastern Kentucky Friday with Congressman Hal Rogers for a law enforcement appreciation luncheon and a panel about rural law enforcement. The meeting with law enforcement at the EKU Manchester campus was closed to the public, but Patel did take questions from reporters afterwards. The visit comes on the heels of a 3-page letter sent to Patel and the DOJ by Laurel County leaders requesting a formal inquiry into the death of Doug Harless. Reporter Samantha Valentino asked Patel if he had received the letter yet.
I don't have personal knowledge of the letter, but I'm sure if it was sent, it was received. What we do with any request or inquiry like that is there's a process at the FBI to review the matter with our state and local authorities and our partners at the Department of Justice, and then they'll make a decision on whether or not, based on the facts and the law, any sort of inquiry is further required, and we will look at it.
After a grand jury failed to indict any of the officers involved in Harless's shooting last week, the community has expressed fear and uncertainty, something Laurel County leaders cited in their letter. Kentucky lawmakers could be asked to approve a bill allowing for cannabis drinks in the state. If passed, Senate Bill 223 would allow cannabis-infused beverages at bars, restaurants, fairs, and festivals. They are already sold in some liquor stores.
And it really just is going to treat it the same way you would treat alcohol, through the licensing limits and enforcement.
The bill would also allow cannabis drinks to be shipped and delivered much like alcohol beverages are. The bill has not been assigned to a committee. 2 well-known TV stars were in Lexington Friday. Patrick Duffy and partner Linda Pearl stopped by God's Pantry Food Bank to help Kroger deliver a $10,000 check to go towards 60,000 meals for folks in need. It coincides with the launch of Duffy's Dough, an artisan bread line rooted in family tradition.
We want our life efforts to align with things we care about and believe in.
We're probably not going to be here to see the solution to the problem, but the fact that something like this can be on the shelves long after we're gone.
5 varieties of Duffy's Dough is now available at Kroger. The bake-at-home artisan bread traces back more than 70 years when Duffy's mom got a sourdough starter, and it's been in the family ever since. 100% of the proceeds from the bread sold will go to hunger relief. Pretty in Pink continues its legacy as a rom-com classic. Matt and Warren, a look of today's Eye on Entertainment.
And you have the chance to see a celestial event tonight heading into tomorrow morning. I'll have more details coming up.